Then further, the writer says, you may think that Crown Prince Jung Jung Bahadur was thrown into a quake when he heard the word tiger. That was exactly what did not happen. As soon as he heard it pronounced, the Crown Prince gave a deep growl. Terrifying words emerged from his lips. Let tigers beware. So, in this paragraph, the narrator says that the reader may feel that the Tiger King trembled upon hearing the name of a tiger, but actually that did not happen. On the other hand, as soon as the Crown Prince Jung Jung Bahadur heard the name of a tiger, he made a deep growling sound and spoke terrifying words and said that all the tigers should be careful now, should beware. Then, further in the next line, the narrator says, this account is only a rumor rife in Pratibandpuram, but with hindsight, we may conclude it was based on some truth. So, here, rumor, you all know that the thing which is not true. And the other word, that is hindsight, means to understand an event or situation only after it has happened. And rife means widespread or prevalent. So, in these two lines, the writer says that this story is a rumor that was heard by him in Pratibandpuram. But if we look at the happenings of the past, we could conclude that these rumors were based on true happenings. Then, in the next lines, the narrator says, Crown Prince Jung Jung Bahadur grew taller and stronger day by day. No other miracle marked his childhood, days apart from the event already described. So, in these lines, the writer says that the Crown Prince Jung Jung Bahadur grew taller and stronger as the days passed by, and there were no other miracles in his childhood apart from the one which took place long time back when he was 10 days old. And then further, the writer says the boy drank the milk of an English cow, was brought up by an English nanny, tutored in English by an Englishman, saw nothing but English films, exactly as the crown princes of all the other Indian states did. When he came of age at 20, the state, which had been with a court of wards until then, came into his hands. What is court of wards? A court of wards is a legal body created by, it was a legal body created by the East India Company, and its purpose was to protect heirs and their estates when the heir was deemed to be a minor or small and therefore incapable of acting independently. So, in these lines, the narrator says, or the writer says, that as a boy, that is when the king was small, King Jung Jung Bahadur was small, he drank the milk of an English cow, and he was brought up, he was taken care by an English governess, and he got lessons in English by an Englishman and watched English films, just like the crown princes or the royal princes of other Indian states did. When the crown prince Jung Jung Bahadur turned 20 years of age, the royal state, which had been in the custody of the court of wards, was given to him. So now he became the king of Pratibandpuram. Then further, narrator says, but everyone in the kingdom remembered the astrologer's prediction. Many continued to discuss the matter. Slowly it came to the Maharaja's ear. So now, as the king grew up and he was made the king of Pratibandpuram, all people who lived in the kingdom were aware. They knew of the astrologer's prediction. They were aware of the prediction made long time back, and many of the people discussed these predictions. And one day, King Jung Jung Bahadur came to know of it. Then further, in the next lines, the narrator says there were innumerable forests in Pratibandpuram state. They had tigers in them. The Maharaja knew the old saying, you may kill even a cow in self-defense. There could certainly be no objection to killing tigers in self-defense. The Maharaja started out on a tiger hunt. So now Maharaja was was determined to change the destiny. He wanted to prove the astrologer wrong. So, what he did, in these lines the narrator says that Pratibandpuram the state had many forests and it had number of tigers in them, and the Maharaja was aware of the old saying that you could kill even a cow in order to protect yourself. So he felt that the cow, which was considered to be a holy animal, could also be killed by a Hindu in order to save himself. Otherwise, if you kill a cow, it is considered as a sin. But if you kill a cow also in self defense or to protect yourself, then no one would object. So he said that no one would object if he killed a tiger in order to protect himself. So Maharaja Jang Jang Bahadur started out on a tiger hunting expedition. Then further, the writer says that Maharaja was thrilled beyond measure when he killed his first tiger. He sent for the state astrologer and showed him the dead beast. So now when he grew up and he was ready, and when he heard about the prediction made long time back, then he set out to kill the tigers, and he was thrilled. He was very excited when he killed the first tiger, and he called for the state astrologer and showed him the dead tiger. He thought that he had won over his destiny. So, but we'll see that what happens. Then further, in the next lines, the writer says, "What do you say now?" he demanded. "Your Majesty may kill 99 tigers in exactly the same manner." But the astrologer drawled, "But what? Speak without fear. But you must be very careful with the 100th tiger. What if the 100th tiger were also killed?" So in these lines, the writer says that the king asked the astrologer for his comment. When he killed the tiger, he just called for the astrologer to give his comments. And the astrologer replied that the king could kill 99 tigers in exactly the same way as he had killed the first one. And he stopped speaking. He dawdled means he stopped speaking. Now he was very much scared of speaking further. The king encouraged the astrologer to continue without fear. So the astrologer said that the king had to be very careful with the 100th tiger. Means he had a threat with the 100th tiger. Though he may kill 99 tigers, but 100th tiger would be a threat to his life. The king asked him that what would happen if he killed the 100th tiger also. Then further, in the next lines, the narrator says that then I will tear all my books on astrology, set fire to them, and then I shall cut off my tuft. Tuft means a bunch of collection of threads, grass, hair, etc., which is held or growing together at the base. As you can see in the priest's head, you can see that all the pandits, they have the tuft on their head. So he said that he would get it cut. Incoherent means unclear or confused. So in these lines, the writer says that the astrologer replied that he would tear all his books if the king would prove him wrong, or then he would tear all his books of astrology. The astrologer challenged the king, and he would set all the books on astrology on fire. He continued that he shall cut off his hair also, and would change his profession from an astrologer to an insurance agent, which is a very big thing, as he would not remain a good astrologer any longer. So now, then further, the writer says, from that day onwards, it was celebration time for all the tigers inhabiting Pratibandpuram. The state banned tiger hunting by anyone except the Maharaja. A proclamation means announcement, was issued to the effect that if anyone dared to fling so much as a stone at a tiger, all his wealth and property would be confiscated. Confiscated means taken with authority. So in these lines, the writer says that from that day, the tiger in Pratibandhuram had a nice time, as the kingdom banned tiger hunting by anyone except the Maharaja. No one was allowed to kill a tiger other than the Maharaja himself. The law was so strict that an official announcement was made that if anyone was caught killing a tiger or even throwing a stone at a tiger, his wealth and property would be taken away by the kingdom of Pratibandhuram. Then in the next line, the writer says the Maharaja vowed he would attend to all other matters only after killing the 100 tigers. Vowed means now he just took an oath that he would discuss or he would attend or he would see to his kingdom only after killing the 100 tigers. Initially, the king seemed well set to realize his ambition. So, ambition is a strong desire to do or achieve something. So, in these lines, the writer says that the king of Pratibandhuram took an oath that he would attend to all other matters of the kingdom only after he had killed 100 tigers. In the beginning, it seems that he would achieve this target very fast. Then we'll see what happens. In the next line, he says, not that he faced no dangers. There were times when the bullet missed his mark. The tiger leapt upon him and he fought the beast with the bare hands. Bare means here unarmed, means without any weapon. Each time it was the Maharaja who won. So in these lines, the writer wants to say that it was not that he feared the tiger. The king of Pratibandhuram, that is, the tiger king, was not at all scared of the tiger. When the king went on his hunting expedition, he faced many dangers at many times. At times his bullet also missed its target and the tiger jumped upon him. The tiger would fight with the tigers bare-handed, but each time he won and killed the tiger.